Carl and Dan here from Games, Brains and Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial.com for sure. And it is track by track time. Wandering over to the music of Turnstile, described as hardcore punk, alternative, however you want it to be. I think they kind of fit into a couple of different categories. And this is their third studio album, Glow On, released August 27th, 2021 via Roadrunner Records. The band's last album, the feature founding guitarist Brrraains A Head-Banging, who departed from the band in August 2022, which means nothing really to me because I think this is likely to be the first full Turnstile album I've ever listened to.
Yeah, that makes sense. It was mine too. It was recommended to me heavily, and it took me ages to get around to it, and to listening to it. And it took me a second to get into it as well. I started listening to it, and I was like, "Oh, this is all right." But it really does. It caught my attention about halfway through, and it's become a staple in my playlists ever since.
Interesting. Halfway through, based off some of my words, that's not too far away, which I think I understand. Yeah, so this is, as per usual, just going to go for each track, offer our thoughts, and we begin with Mystery. I don't love that this is the first track of 15. That was like 15 quality control people, but I'll forgive it because it's not too long and most of the tracks are focused on being nice and heavy. This one is an interesting start and end, bookended by spacey ambience. The rest is a blend of heavy alternative rock with hardcore undertones. Initially I was like they're calling this band a hardcore band. I'm like, it's not the most explosive start, but it's a catchy opener.
Yeah, I think I definitely struggled with this opener for a second too, and it's not until you get further down in this album that I think they really show off what they've got to offer. I think the hardcore genre banding is more because of like influences and crowds and scenes they play in, you know.
Right.
And I think as well they used to be much heavier, but like when I listened to this and somebody told me this was a hardcore album, I was like, the fuck?
Yeah. Although there are a few tracks that make a little bit more sense. Blackout is next. This is the energy increase I was hoping for, bringing some of that punk fire into focus while having an underlying anthemic quality. The tempo uptick in the chorus is nice, and the heavy beat at the end is welcome. But I don't think this one is that inspired instrumentally. It does show some creativity here and there, though, suggesting this record might be more varied than first expected.
I think the song's catchy as fuck. Gets stuck in my head constantly. The lead in the chorus part, it gets stuck in my head constantly. And I think this would go off live.
Have you ever seen them live?
No, I really want to though.
Okay, no, same here. I don't think I have. Even at a festival, doesn't ring a bell, you know. Okay.
No, yeah.
Don't play. It's funny now to hear something a little more traditionally hardcore infused. This one has a ton of pace, fast, energetic, with some fun layers. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm echoing a similar sentiment. This song is good. It's probably not one of my favorites off the album. But it also sits next to a bunch of songs I do really like in the track listing. So
yeah, that's true, because Underwater Boy, melody, and more melody. I'll bet with an off-kilter ring. This is pop punk through and through for me. And while I wasn't initially sold, I think it's weird enough to grab my attention in the end. It's different and showcases variety. I ended up really liking this one.
yeah, I love this track as well. Once again, catchy as shit, I think. They can write some good hooks. And there's plenty interesting on here, and I think it does show variety massively. It shows like where they Turnstile's a spectrum, and this is like one end of that.
Yeah, I think across these first 4 tracks you really kind of get an idea of that spectrum as well. Holiday. After those first few seconds, I did not expect this to explode in the fashion it does. A blood-pumping body shake on a headbanger, that is so much fun. It's on the lighter side of the hardcore sound, but has massive anthemic qualities, kicking all kinds of ass, and I imagine that this one goes off nicely live.
yeah, no secret that I fucking love this song.
Hmm.
It's great. It's catchy as fuck. It would go off live. It does. I've seen videos of it. I want to see Turnstile so I can see this song live. I
Yeah.
mean, it needs to be the summer. Like, it needs to be in the middle of July. I need to be in the warmest room possible.
Or like I think it would work really nicely at a fest out in the
Yeah.
sun, maybe on a smaller stage. Yeah. Humanoid slash shake it up. Meh. This one does little for me. I find it quite boring, and the effect they use is extremely jarring.
I like this one.
Hmm.
But it's not up there with me. It's kind of, I think, maybe a little bit album fillery. Um, but it's
Hmm.
not like I say that, but you don't really need to do filler on this album. It's already got 15 tracks.
That it's the quality control. Don't put filler on. They just cut it down to 10, 11, 12, and then you've got a much stronger album overall. Because I also think they should have got rid of Endless because the course isn't corrected with this one for me. Aside from some nicely garish riffs, this one comes and goes in an overall unremarkable way. It's cool that it's one of their heavier tracks, but this is the thing. It ain't interesting.
I disagree on this one. I think this one's got a lot of that like the anthemic qualities that make Turnstile really great. Especially in
Hmm.
those like cleaner choruses where you've got some of the jarring riffs.
Yep.
Um, I'm massively keen on this track.
Okay, all right. It's the first one we really, really differ on, but there we go. Fly Again. Whereas I think this one is a lot more creative. First with that melody, then with that serrated guitar sound, then with those powerful clean vocals. Again, it's a little bit weird, notable in the chorus, but it works for me. It also has a cool guitar solo, so I am back on board.
Cool guitar solos always go down a tree, especially in Turnstile songs. Like, um, I can't really say anything bad here. This is like
Mm.
good. This is good music. Um, Even if not one the my go-to pick for a Turnstile song, still great.
Yeah, it's just nice because I'd gone through from Holiday, I hit two tracks I didn't care for. This one kind of brought me back, particularly when I kind of looked ahead and saw Alien Love Call featuring Blood Orange. Now, I don't know who Blood Orange was, so I obviously went looking to see who Blood Orange was, and I ended up entering this track with some serious trepidation, as Blood Orange is R&B and electronica, and that can vary and that can be wild, and I don't know what I'm gonna hear, but in the end, it's not so bad. Mainly because it changes the tone so significantly by being so melodramatic. The focus is really on vocals. I'm not sure about the echo that everything has overall, which I think gets a little distracting when you really focus on it. But I kind of went into this one not expecting to like it and came out thinking, yeah, that was all right.
Yeah. I I echo a similar sentiment again. I didn't know who Blood Orange was. Even though I know this album really well and I know this song as well. Um, I think it serves as a really nice break in the album. Um, I think that's
Hmm.
about it.
Wouldn't need a break if you weren't sticking 15 tracks on it.
Yeah.
Wild World. Let's get peppy. And while this one takes a little bit to get going, when it does, it's a raucous blast of old school punk vibes and modern hardcore ideas. A nice and groovy track that gets the heart racing and as close to traditional as it gets with this band. I do wish they'd go easy on some of the effects though, as it can be quite annoying here, even if it's done from a more subtle place.
I could see that. I don't mind the very echoey vocals as I get what they're going for with it.
Hmm.
Um, and it is that like anthemic. This is a whole band shouting this
Yep.
lyrics, especially when you've got those like gang vocally bits in choruses or like bridges and stuff.
All right, dance off. It's track 11. I'm still kind of invested, and this rock number is fun too. Again, more simple and certainly does them no harm, even if stupid effects threaten to derail things right near the end. And I kind of got a little annoyed and wrote, "Stop fucking around so much, guys."
um I really like this song. I think it's catchy as fuck again. The chorus. They really they know how to scratch my brain with certain licks.
New Heart Design. Well, after that initial flurry of punk rock guitars, the last thing I expected was the synth and poppy thing that comes after. I'm torn in this one. I kind of like it, and when the chorus hits, this track really steps up, which kind of is the winner for me. But I could see this being a polarizing song.
I fucking love this song. It's like it's really, really up there for me. I love that it starts off with like riffs, and then it immediately within 5 seconds of that switch up to like
Yeah,
synth 90s pop. I don't know. I'm really keen on it.
it's weird. It's a weird one.
Yeah, definitely.
TLC, aka Turnstile Love Connection. Fast, frenetic, and energetic hardcore noise. Turnstile look to be keeping it really simple here, but I've come to not trust them. I don't trust them. And it turns out I'm right, as this gets weird around the middle point. To be fair, it's a brief section and a heavy groove stays, but at a slower pace.
I get that. Yeah, I think as this song goes, it's like one of the most popular ones. I hear it played at shows constantly between
Really?
bands. Hear it constantly. Um,
Mm.
and I don't understand why out of all the Turnstile songs, this is the most popular one because it's a great track and I do enjoy it. I just think it's better.
Yeah. Oh, it's weird because obviously, like most of the tracks, they all have anthemic qualities. It's an album filled with anthems, but I'd say there are at least 5 or 6 that I'd point at and go, well, those ones would be popular being played at a club live compared to this one. What do we know?
Mm,
Penultimate track, no surprise, 45 seconds of effects and vocals. It's chill, quite sweet, but that's it.
yeah, pretty
There's
much
nothing wrong
that's
with
it.
That's it. Okay, and last but not least, Lonely Desires featuring Blood Orange. Again, more from Blood Orange here, but now we have an old school hard rock banger with punk infusions. Here's the thing, it's nothing special and loses impact as it goes on, especially as it starts to drift away with around a minute to go, leading to the ambient spacey sounds that we heard at the start to close things out. Or does it? Nope. I'm like, okay, the instruments are building back up. We're going to have a flurry at the end, only to come up and then immediately start to dissipate again. And I was like, what? Like, I did not get that ending. I did not get what on earth they were thinking. Either go out with the spacey ambience and that kind of bookends the album, beginning and end, no worries. But you're bringing the instruments back up and I'm thinking, okay, we're going to maybe last 10 seconds of just, you know, and it's just like they go up and then they immediately come down again. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? I ended up hating this track because I think that ending is one of the dumbest endings I've seen in an album in a while.
Damn, I didn't expect you to have so many feelings about the song. I think this
Just
song
that
is
ending.
yeah. I haven't really put much thought into the song. It's fine, I think.
It's fine. Yeah.
It's fine as an album ender. I think there's so much better on the album though, and I feel like just like knowing that Turnstile can make great music, really catchy shit, it kind of just falls flat for that reason. Because I know you can do better.
Yeah, it's pretty uninspired.
Yeah.
Yeah, so another one to end on, and again, maybe a little bit of creative quality control would have helped there. But you know, this is a 6 out of 10 album for me overall. There are great tracks, there are middling tracks, and there are tracks I don't like. So that's kind of like a decent album overall, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, top 3 tracks then. Do you want to go first?
You can go first.
All right,
I think
all
mine are
right.
more obvious.
Okay, Underwater Boy, Holiday, and Fly Again are the 3 that I think are up there as the best.
We match up on 2, which is
Hmm.
Underwater Boy and Holiday. But then I've gone for New Heart Design as well.
Of course, that would make sense. That pretty much tells you that Underwater Boy and Holiday are probably 2 of the ones, and two great examples of the difference and the scale between how they can sound. Underwater Boy and Holiday. I think they could be, if you want to get a taste of Turnstile, check out both those tracks to kind of hear the difference, the different elements they've got to their sound. So yeah, not bad choices, really.
Not bad.
That is, yeah, that is Glow On by Turnstile. You got any thoughts to share? You feel any different? You know what to do? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website, where reviews, news, and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at gbhbl. Just search for gbhbl and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.